Hey there, friends. Got my parts squire, and we're going to do a little quick demo of this Ghost Note Audio SWIRLS. I don't do a lot of demos anymore, as you know, because I'm not, well, for several reasons. You may know some of them, but the biggest one being is I don't want to be the reason to cause people to spend money. In this case, it may be warranted, and this is not sponsored. This is something I bought, and I thought it was so cool that I wanted to share it with you. What the SWIRLS is basically an 80's rack unit in a very small enclosure. It's got Detune, it's got like tri-chorus or as whatever chorus you want, and it's got a compressor, a VCA compressor, and the VCA compressor is really, really good. Now, I'll try not to mess this up as I'm reaching over and changing things on the dial because it has presets, but every time you change something, it assumes that's what you want to do. So if I'm not mistaken, it automatically saves it. But that's okay. The secondary functions are adjusted by pressing the stereo button in the middle, and then whatever it says below the main function of that knob, that's the secondary function that you're affecting. And it can be quite deep. Best part is it's $150. $150. And it sounds great. So that's why I'm showing it to you. All right. Here's my unaffected signal, except I'm putting a little bit of the DBA Rooms reverb on this. That's that, right? There you go. That's just to give it some like texture, a little context. I think that when you demo pedals, it's nice to have a little space to put them in so that it's evolving into a space and you can judge it better. That's my take. Yes, I've made some demos where there was too much reverb on it. There'll be somebody to comment on that, I'm sure. So let's check this out. Again, this is without the SWIRLS. Now with. Without. Really beautiful. So, as far as the tri-chorus goes, as you can see on the pedal, you have rate, input, because you can adjust where, how much input you have because of the compressor. The more input you put in, it hits the compressor and it makes it sound differently. But below the top three, so rate, input, and mix, you have left, center, and right. And that's where you can so you can adjust the left, center, and right LFO differently of this. And it's amazing. So I'll show you how we do that. So let's start with the left. So here we are. Let's turn up the left a little. A little wavier. Let's turn up the center. And let's turn up the right. Let's turn them all down. And we'll turn the mix back up to full. Right? And we'll turn the mix down completely on the detune because that might be warping our assessment. I'll bring each up one at a time. Okay, so then you've got the detune, and I'm going to try to go back with where I sort of had my I think this is close to where I started. Turning the rate up a little. Mix full. To me, like at noon or a little before, like 10 or 11 o'clock is really beautiful. That's just me. Let me turn up the rate a little bit. I can turn the manual LFO on. Did I mention, by the way, even though we're in mono, this is a stereo pedal. There's stereo jacks in and stereo jacks out. Crazy. All right, I'm going to turn the mix down. So basically, yeah, we're just dealing with the compressor. When you see that light in the middle, Each LED that lights up is 2 decibels of reduction. And I wanted it that when I hit hard, it just got to 4. But for the most part, it's hitting 2. But look, it'll just go to 4. And you can see the secondary functions for that. There's attack, and I've got the attack at around, 10 o'clock, I think. And you've got threshold, and you want to set the threshold once you get your input dialed in to where, you're seeing the reduction that you wish. You want it, like, instead of like just hitting 4, you want it to be 8. It's not a problem because it's a VCA compressor, and those are more transparent anyway. They're really kind of groovy, and it sounds beautiful. This is a really good example of a VCA compressor. So, and then you have ratio. I'm at like, 2 to 1, 3, between 2 to 3 to 1. I'm not all the way to the left, which is when you're holding the secondary button for stereo to do the secondary functions. All the way to the left would be 1 to 5 to 1. I'm a little just above that, like somewhere between 2 and 3 to 1. And it sounds gorgeous to me. It's just filling it out and fleshing it out and just giving you a little bit of body and sustain. It's really quite good. So now let's look at the detune. We will bring that all the way. We'll bring that all the way up. The voices knob is how many voices of detune you want. Now, typically with most electric guitars back in the 80s and 90s, they were trying to make them wide. It was 2 to 4, but I believe this thing can go to 8. We'll start at the lowest part. I'm going to back off the mix a bit. That's pretty cool. What happens if we add the chorus to the detune and the compressor? Certainly you can hear the width and the depth and the movement going on there. I'm going to turn it off. Now, I'm a little conservative when it comes to the detuning and the chorus. I like it as a little flavor to add some movement and width. So what you see is probably the way I would use it. But hey, I know tons of people that use it more aggressively, and you can get as aggressive as you like with this. I turn off the manual, so I get this. Is pretty close to how I use it. There's a little less wobble when you turn the manual off, but I mean, it's, splitting hairs. If you like it that way, go for it. So anyway, just thought I'd show you that because for $150, I think you're getting an awful lot, don't you think? Pretty damn cool. Very well made. And it's built like a tank. You could really hurt somebody with this. This thing is like solid metal. It's quite extraordinary. So Ghost Note Audio, SWIRLS, $150. If this is your cup of tea, you're looking for something like this. And by the way, the compressor comes first in the chain, which is beautiful. This could solve a lot of pedal board issues for you, perhaps at a very affordable rate. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know.